You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
If Jerry's alive, the podcast has started. Go.
I'm back, baby. You can't kill me. Am I coming in loud and clear?
You're coming in clear enough.
All right, good deal. Clear? No, is it loud and clear? I want it clear enough.
You're clear enough for me.
Where's that? What's with the low energy? I'm the one that just had surgery and survived.
I just worked a long shift at work. I literally just got off the old keyboard and phone after being verbally assaulted by many of people that are upset with their warranty, and they don't believe that this thing is costing them thousands of dollars, and they don't get what they want out of it, and it doesn't cover everything bumper to bumper. And then I'm like, Jerry, we need to put out a show for this week so that our audience knows that you're alive. And so I'm a little bit tired. Yes. Have you ever been tired, Jerry?
Yeah, probably when they removed my adrenal gland along with the tumor. And I went to work today. I have been working at a hospice where people are dead and dying. So yes, I have a lease on life. Plus, I just found out I got my report back today. It's not cancer.
Huzzah!
So there you go. Huzzah!
Good news
so I have
all
no
around.
Cancer. And you're just, I had to type on a keyboard. I'm out here beating cancer.
You're always trying to outdo me with your cancer.
I beat cancer. I'm sorry. Have you ever
Wait. Hold on. Did you beat it or did you never have it?
I never had it, but technically, if you don't have it...
In that case, I too have beaten cancer.
But you've never had the potential for it. Let me rephrase that. I avoided cancer.
I have been in the sun many a day, unclothed.
But that doesn't matter. They never said, this might be
skin cancer.
You have a 3% chance.
Hey, I had a weird mole on my hand. I went to the dermatologist. He's like, he said, keep an eye on that one. I'm like, oh, there we go. Better look out.
Oh.
It was kind of, the mole was not completely symmetrical. He's like, keep an eye on that one. And
you're not completely symmetrical.
It finally disappears. So all is good.
Come back to me when you have an actual tumor. I had a tumor.
You did have a tumor. It's not you did have a tumor.
It's gone. I had a tumor.
It's gone now. It's gone.
I beat that tumor. They removed it from my body laparoscopically.
What does that mean?
And I'm fine. That means they stick a hole in you with the little camera. They don't cut you all the way wide open.
They stick a hole in you?
Yeah, they poke you. They poke you. They stab you. And so they put the camera in the little grabber thing, and they go in there and they do it via camera instead of having to slice you open. Then they pull it out through those holes.
Pull it out through the holes?
Yeah, they pulled out I only got one adrenal gland now, which
so
means that apparently
are you feeling less aggressive these days?
Listen, I was never aggressive to begin with. It was that tumor that was causing me to be slightly irate.
Toby the tumor. Let's blame Toby.
It was the tumor. It's Toby the tumor. OTT had me wound up all time. I mean, it actually did. It had my cortisol level, which is your stress hormone, incredibly high.
Yeah.
And now it is not.
And what's your blood pressure looking like these days? Well, okay, stop. What was your blood pressure previously on a good day?
Oh, the highest it ever got when I almost stroked out was like 200 over 100 and something. But like a normal day, taking like 4 blood pressure pills, it was like 155 over 90 something, 95. That was like
Good
normal.
Lord. See, I wouldn't be allowed to drive a truck if my blood pressure was that.
Right, but I was allowed to render aid to people. Funny how the healthcare system
So,
works.
like, when your blood pressure was 200, did they not, like, I thought they would hospitalize you immediately.
They did.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, see, all the stress and terrible things I don't tell you so that you don't freak out. All the times I've been hospitalized or on death's door, and you're mad at me because I said some word that you misinterpret or you're feeling. But here I am balling it all up. That's probably what caused a tumor, me balling up all my frustrations.
Sure.
Every time you interrupt me, a tumor pops up in my body.
Feels like you're blaming your tumor on me.
It's somehow connected.
Let's see. About 2017, I developed this tumor.
How big is it? I don't know. About 320, 5'2", 6'2". Oh,
to be 320. Ooh, that would be nice.
Well, I'm glad you're doing all right. You know, here I am beating cancer or avoiding it, whatever, you know.
Never having it, but
looking forward to
congratulations.
BGG.
Yes.
BGG's coming up this days.
Let's see. This episode will be out on May 22nd, and we'll be on our way to BGG.
Yes. Hopefully on our way to go bowling with Ryan, unless Ryan cancels on us. Ryan Maxwell. If he cancels, that's fine. That's fine.
Geoff said he would play games with us there at the place.
Geoff?
Did you not see that? Did you not see that?
I've seen that. I know.
I'm
feigning excitement.
He said he'd be willing to jam some games. I feel like this is a new phrase I've seen a lot here lately. Is jam some games. What? Jam. I feel like it's a new thing.
I don't know if it is a new thing. I don't know if I like it.
I don't.
Do you know the difference between jam and jelly?
One is without pieces.
Okay. Jam is made from crusted fruit or pulp. Tends to be chunkier and more flavorful, but less spreadable. On the other hand, jelly is just made from the juice or syrup. Now, the reason that
I'm more
this
of
is
a preserves guy.
Hang on. What's a preserve? Let me look that up too, because that's okay. And versus preserves, there's a third option. I'm not even sure what a preserves is. Fruity preserves are a lot like jam, but they're slightly thicker, thanks to large chunks or whole pieces of fruit, chopped or crushed pureed fruit. Usually large bits of fruit suspended in preserves, as well as seeds.
I'm a chunky guy. Put them chunks in there. Marmalade.
Marmalade is considered to be a preserve. I don't think I've ever had
marmalade.
Marmalade.
A friend of mine made some marmalade for me because I'm a huge Paddington fan. Grew up on Paddington, and he's all about some marmalade. And I'm like, you know what? I'd love to have some marmalade. A friend of mine made some. Delicious. I can see why Paddington is into it. Me too, Paddington.
Try.
Me too. It's oranges. It's like orange jelly. It's orange jam. Orange preserve.
I bet that'd be good on duck. I wonder, does duck and marmalade pair well?
Orange. I mean, there is the orange duck, right? Duck l'orange.
There is marmalade duck. How to best roast a duck with almond marmalade glaze. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get me some marmalade.
I could even say marmalade is my jam.
I've got a duck in my freezer that I need to cook. I may do that. I may get me some marmalade. Wonder where someone gets marmalade.
I've never had it. I think Paddington's British, so maybe it's a British thing. Like I said, my friend made it, so I don't know. I'm sure you can find it at World Market or something. It's like, oh yeah, here's something.
I wonder if Dan Hughes, if he's listening to this, send me some more. How many pounds would it cost to ship marmalade to the South?
I think you can find marmalade locally. I don't think we need to get it shipped in from the UK. I want the original
Paddington. I want the Paddington Bear marmalade, though. I want the OG. I don't want this fake marmalade. I was thinking about Dan the other day. Oh, we need to address this. And I will address this further because we're going to do another episode here on our way to BGG. I already have notes on it. This was more impromptu. But RIP well, not R.I.P. Well, I guess they should rest. They should rest in peace at the fact that they didn't win the Golden Geek. I was rooting for them, as
Who?
did not Ben Maddox, nor did Dan.
No, they weren't even
It was
nominated.
the one-stop.
They didn't get enough nominations if they were.
I wasn't going to bring that up. We stayed out of it this year because I was on the injured list,
We
and
stayed
we all
out
knew
of
that
it.
if we won, I couldn't do the.
We
the
voluntarily
acceptance speech.
stayed out of it. As did
I
Sporadically Bored. I don't
withdrew.
think they were pushing for it or anything.
I emailed Aldi at the Board Game Geek and said, "Listen, not this year. I've got health issues. If we win, we'd have to have like Enrique accept it for us, and he doesn't even know this site exists."
Did you tell Aldi to start posting our newest episodes to the site?
Nah, I'm gonna check on that. Don't worry about that. He's a busy man.
You said that.
I'll see him at BGG and say, "Listen here,
All right.
here's what you need." But anyways, I've been doing great. I have several things I'm looking forward to at BGG that I could share with you. Do
Go
you
ahead.
have things you're looking forward to?
Well, I think we're looking forward to some of the same things.
Have you made a list of games?
I mean, other than the chat we had created with our friend Chaz Chasson, I'm trying to. I like never before. I mean, I know this is like the thing to do, and it's obviously the smart thing to do, so that you're not wandering around aimlessly, wondering what to play, or you're going to the library and like, what should we check out? I mean, you can go into the hotness room and hope there's a table open for something that's everybody's talking about. But like you said previously, that we have a shelf full of games we have yet to play or games we haven't played in forever. Gaia Project, I'm looking forward to that. Chad said we're going to play that Thursday morning. We played it once. I don't think we really had it down. You didn't have it down, therefore we didn't have it down. So I think we kind of like played it for an hour or so and then like kind of gave up on it, if I remember correctly. But I was liking it. I was liking it.
We finished it. We did a whole episode on it.
What?
Anyways.
Where am I?
I know. Yeah.
Well,
I know.
mean,
You don't know.
I'm sure I gave it, I don't know, somewhere between a 5 and a 10 star review. But I look forward to playing it again with vigor and vim.
Okay.
Other than that,
With
we
vim.
have a, what's the game? We're going to play John's Company. Possessive?
John's. Nah, it's John. I keep getting corrected. It's just John.
Just John. It's not his.
Like I got to go to the John.
It's John Company.
John.
John Company. Okay. We're going to play John Company,
just
not
John.
John's.
Yep. No, there's not two Johns. There's
Okay.
one.
Okay.
And that is his company.
so it's
Well,
so it's just
so-
John. Just John. Okay, so we're
Just
going to play
John.
John Company Thursday at 5.
don't quit giving away our itinerary.
Then-
There might be people listening to this that will come looking for us.
We're gonna
We
play-
don't need that.
Mombasa.
We don't,
I haven't played
we don't need
Mombasa in
all
forever. I look
these
forward to playing
fans
Mombasa.
trying to just swamp us. Plus, it would be very embarrassing, all the people asking me how I'm doing and bringing me get well cards and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm trying to be on the down low. Speaking of which, Jason Brusso, he sent me an email. He says he wanted to wish Jerry well on the operation in his recovery. I've been listening to the podcast for several months now. Came for the board game, stayed for the puns and the banter. You all, see, he should have said y'all, but he said you all. You all have a great dynamic, and each of you brings something entertaining to the table and brightens up my Mondays at work. He didn't, his mundane days at work.
Oh, he listens on one day.
Mundane.
Just Monday.
Which is the day. Mundane is what happens every day in Danish land. Let's see. I was playing Seventh Continent this weekend and laughed at reading the flavor text as it seemed so Enrique. Image attached on this email. As a currently big solo gamer, I was very excited to hear you talk about Robinson Crusoe in the past and more recently talk about solo gaming. Loved hearing about your experiences with Den of Wolves where all three of you played. Unfortunately, Jason, that's not going to be the case this year because Gobby's skipping out, but there is going to be a third person of the group that's going to be playing with us that we're going to finagle in doing a podcast. Gabi, I understand where you're coming from as an introvert, but if you pick a role that's less prominent, you should be fine. Cheers, Jason B. The image that he connected was from one of the cards from Seventh Continent, which I used to own and played. It's interesting. I just didn't like digging through the cards. But it appears to be an event card where you've made a poor choice, and it reads, "You sadly remember Enrique, who tried to free climb down a rocky cliff, ignoring the group's vehement disapproval. After 4 grueling hours, a decision was made to stop searching for his body." I did not know that the designers of Seventh Continent knew Enrique so well. I did want to bring up this thing about the solo gaming. I recently, hang on a moment, let me get it here. A game I'm quite excited about because it just won. I think it
Legacy
it won
of You?
the Golden. Huh?
The Legacy of You or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to play that
And
for
now-
a while. Because
Well,
it's
I just
Garfield
got-
games, which I'm a fan of. You are not, but
It
Garfield
is not
has...
It is not Garfield games.
It's
Please
not.
don't embarrass yourself.
What?
It's not Garfield.
Shim didn't
games.
develop
I'm
it?
holding it. What?
Shim didn't make it?
If you would not interrupt me, I would tell you.
Oh, okay. I was trying to guess real quick.
Okay, well, guess.
Shim Phillips, Garfield games. That's what I
No,
guess.
Shim Phillips did design it,
Ah!
as well as his brother Sam did the artwork. So it looks very much like Garfield games, but for some weird reason, it was published by Renegade and not Garfield. This is a solo game with a campaign included. It's a solo only. Purports to be an hour long. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. It does have Garfield games. I was giving you a hard time.
You liar! Liar! I knew it. You just always trying to shut. You're always trying to keep me down, make me feel like I don't know nothing.
I know. I'm
See?
such a.
Can't
I'm
blame
such
it all on Toby the Tumor. Jerry was in
I'm
there. Jerry was in there for quite a bit.
I'm such a cad. Let me read you
Such
the
a character.
story behind it. Huh?
When people are like that, so there's somebody that says, "Oh, he's such a character." That means he annoys
nice way
me.
of saying
and
he's
he
a
gets on my
jerk.
nerves. Yes, exactly.
Oh, what a rapscallion.
What a rapscallion. Yeah.
I said
Exactly.
the other day, please, now listen, everybody doesn't know my wife, but nobody on the podcast, our listeners know my wife,
Who?
but I was, my wife,
There you go. Finally.
and
Jeez.
I was making a joke saying about how people refer to their wives and they have pet names and all that, and we were just talking, and I referred to my wife as the old battle axe, which is a Norm Macdonald joke, which I proceeded to repeat all of Norm Macdonald's jokes about that old battle axe, and everybody was not laughing because that's misogynistic nowadays, and they weren't getting the pun. My wife thinks it's funny because we have pet names for each other that are wildly inappropriate.
What's her name
But
for
anyway.
you?
Huh?
What's
I'd
her
rather
name?
not say. That's private. And we don't have time to edit this podcast.
No, we do not. Thank you. I appreciate that, actually.
It's a Roman name.
No,
Let's
we will not go there.
see. Okay. Legacy of You is a solo only, fully resettable, non-linear campaign game. You step in the role of the legendary hero of the it's ZIA Dynasty. Now I of course as an American I would say that's Zaya, but that's not. That's like Z Dynasty, I believe, is the correct way to pronounce it.
I don't know. Like sometimes I think the X is like a J.
Yeah, I'm pretty like that. Yeah. If you understand Mandarin and how to pronounce things, send us an email, Board Game Snobs. But anyway, so it's not. I could do the American pronunciation of it, Zaya Dynasty, but Z.
But
You the Great.
go ahead.
It will be your job to build. You're going to like this. You're building canals canals. Ahead of the impending flood,
Got the big
while
C.
also defending your.
canal.
Yeah. With each game, stories will be shared with new gameplay elements. Campaign features a self-balancing system. The campaign ends once you either win or lose 7 games. So basically, this emperor hired this dude to build canals, and after 9 years, he didn't do well. And so after he kind of like something happened to him, his son took it over, and he's like, I'm going to build better canals than my dad. And that's the story, is you're trying to build better canals than your dad, who apparently was an inept canal builder. And I love, like, all my favorite games have canals.
I agree.
Like brass.
Agree.
If there's canals or water of any sort, barrage
at all.
If there's water, barrage, love it.
Captains of the Gulf,
love it. Even the other one, the Rondell one, where you're putting stuff on boats to go through to the water. Love it.
That was
Crescent City Cargo.
Crescent City Cargo.
Croissant City Cargo, where you're hauling all the croissants. Love it. Anything with water, I'm all about it.
So
anyway,
Jason. Mr. Was it Jason Bruno?
Brusso. It sounds like bursitis. Like, I bet his knees hurt.
So Jason Brusso had emailed us. Please email us, because that is when your emails will get read on air. We like I've mentioned before, now that we're so involved with Facebook and Discord, I mean, people take us for granted. But on Facebook and Discord, we're not going to remember what you say and talk about it on air, because it just, rattles by, and, 50 posts later, we've forgotten where it even was. So if you want,
unless they're one of my posts,
if you have something you want us to discuss or have an email for us, just email us, boardgamesnobs@gmail.com, link in the show notes. There was also, I don't want to let this go by, because they made a song, Jerry, or they made something for us. This was for our 300th. This is from the Singing Snobadillo, and I do not know who this is.
What's his name?
Who is it? Who? Oh, that narrows it down.
Shoot. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I don't know who it is. They don't say their name. They just call themselves the Singing Snobadillo.
We have several musically inclined members.
That's true. But anyway, so they sent an email around the time of our 300th episode. The Singing Snobadillo said, "Gentlemen, congratulations on your upcoming 300th episode. In honor of this momentous occasion, I've crudely fashioned a short piece to remind your listeners how difficult speaking into a microphone is, and how well you folks do it on a weekly basis. My apologies to Jerry. As he is heavily featured, that's just what came up in the handful of episodes I pulled from. May the next 300 episodes be just as entertaining. Your loyal fan, Old Armorback, the Singing Snobadillo." And he posted this. Let me see if I can get it to play.
I swear, you just say words.
Say words.
Astronomy. Linguistical. Astrology.
Progenerators.
Yeah. An extra person, social cues,
colonizer,
the progenitor.
Okay.
I'm illiterate.
Okay, so it's over now. So if you remember, it was basically just you messing up on everything you say. No offense to you. Words are hard for you sometimes. You're such a cad.
I do that. I do that to make other people feel at ease. I'll often say things that are wrong, mildly so, just to make people feel better. That's how I am.
Try to relate to the common man.
I do.
You're
the
a good
peasants,
person.
as we call.
You're a good person. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where we were. Continue on at Weird Break.
Weird Break. Those are the best kind of break. Either way, I'm looking forward to BGG. I got interrupted because I brought up games that I was going to be excited for at BGG. Games that I don't own, that I want to check out. That, maybe they'll be there, maybe they won't be.
Tell me the newness. Tell me what's hot. Tell me what we're going to be doing at BGG. I am so out of touch, Jer Bear.
Don't.
It's my affectionate name for you. Nobody else knows it. It's what nobody else knows.
So the White Castle, not the place to eat, is big. It's a De Vere game.
I've heard of that.
It's been yes, and there's already an expansion. It come out last year actually, and since it's De Vere, of course, I'm already kind of excited about it. It's one where it just says become the most influential clan in Japan's stronghold, one of the strongholds there, and it just looks nice, and it has won strategy and solo game of the year at different places. And so it looks very, very, very interesting. And so I'm excited. I want to try.
What is
female designer, by the way? Throw that out there.
Toss that out there. There you go.
Well, no.
Who?
Well, no. She's also Sherry. I'm sorry. It's Sherry. I really don't know exactly. Yeah, it's just Sherry. I think she goes. It's like Sherry S. But she designed the Red Cathedral.
No way.
Which we also liked. Yeah.
She designed Red Cathedral. Oh, I'm in. If she designed a Red Cathedral, one of these days, Jerry, we need to do our top 20. Red Cathedral is in my top 10.
I think it's her and her husband, if I'm not mistaken, are like a design team. Don't quote me on that. But
I will never quote you on anything ever because you're so wrong on so much.
But either way, there you go. So the White Castle, looking forward to that. Another DeVere game that's the hotness that came out this year is called Sand. And just the artwork and the design alone kind of like invoked a lot of, what was that game? Marco Polo type essence to me. And it looks good. And I think it's by first time design. No, it's not first time designers. It's well, wait, let me check. I have my notes right. No, I think it might be first time designers. Pretty sure it's first time designers. Either way, that one looks really good. Another DeVere game. I want to play Sky Team, which you played on BGA.
Yes, we can play on BGA.
I've never played it.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is say, hey, Gabby, you want to play Sky Team on BGA?
I don't want to play it on BGA. I want to play it in person. I also want to play The Cost, which was a game that I keep every time I keep trying to go and play it. It's about the asbestos industry. It was one done by Spielworks. It was hard to find a copy, and it's one that I've been wanting to play, and so I'm trying to track it down. And so that's one I'd like to play. And that I also never got to play that, which is also on BGA, that Nevlavir, how do you say that?
Yeah.
The one with never got to play that either. That's a one that I want to play. It's by the guy who made Shadows over Camelot and Mare Nostrum. And what else did he make? Cargo Nor, which I own and haven't played. It's one that I have on my shelf. And so a lot of fun stuff like there. But also Arcs, which is the, what's his name? I misspelled it. I think that's not Cole. Is that Cole Worley?
I do not know. I'm checking out Sand, and I do not see. All I see is Ariel and Javier, which are both dudes.
I didn't say Sand. I'm talking about the White Castle. ARCS, Arcs, which is a Cole Worley game. It's a card game where you're guiding your faction through a fast-paced playing space opera, and it looks neat. It looks very heavy too, but it looks more like just like a card game from what I could tell. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward. I want to play it like not just a card game. I think the mechanisms are primarily cards, but there's like a board and stuff. Typical Cole Worley craziness.
Enrique bought a solo game, last BGG that we all went to. Have you seen him or talked to him about it?
I don't even know what it is. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm going to have to find out what it is. It looked really interesting. It was a card-based game, and you're out in space, and you're trying to survive. And it looked very simplistic, and you're just playing cards down.
Was that Sector? The black and white one?
Yes.
That might have been it. Yeah, I got to ask him about that. That might have been it.
I wanted to purchase it myself because here's the thing. I mean, I know that, as BGS, as the Board Game Snobs, we tend to play all of our games together, but solo-wise, and also even together, I mean, it's like, even if you have this... So here's the issue. I have played several games here lately with different people other than Jerry. Jerry's been out of commission, as we say.
Yep.
Here in America.
As soon as I go down, you just replace me.
You're just out with the old, in with the new. Here comes Mike. Old Mike's back in business. Slightly different looking than Jerry.
Continue.
So Jerry out with the old. Here comes Mike, and we played Raw. We played several different games. A love letter. I don't even know. We played a bunch of different games here recently. And oh my God, I've lost where I was going with this.
You're talking about solo games. We were
Solo
playing
games.
Us. Enrique owning one doesn't mean we play together. You just were rambling. You had a point somewhere, but I was waiting for you to get to the end of it.
I got distracted. So you know what?
Because you don't just get to the point.
Scratch it. Just scratch it. I'm out. Just scratch it.
You were waxing and waning about the fact that sometimes somebody else owns a game and you don't play it.
Even if you borrow it. Yes. You're correct. Thank you. So there was another get together with me and a bunch of my other friends other than Jerry, because Jerry, was having his kidneys removed, and so we're playing some games and having a good time while Jerry's in the hospital and probably under the influence of heavy drugs and pain reducers and so. Well, Jerry's under the influence of pain drugs. And I was like, Jerry, I'm going to play these games in Jerry's honor. He'd want me to continue living, even if he's gone.
No, I'd want you to stop.
He didn't.
And more than me.
He did not stop. He did not leave his mortal coil. But I'm like, I know what Jerry would want. He'd want me to continue living my life. So we had a group of, so here's the thing. We had some friends come over. They're a newly married couple. They're like, we want to play some board games. They're interested in some board games.
They're lame.
I said, they're actually friends of Shardae's. And Shardae says, okay, come over. Gabi has some board games. We'll play some board games. I said, how many? 5. Boom. I lay out 5 or 6 game of 5. We have Raw, we have Smartphone, we have Skull, we have Trio. Or no, actually, in my mind, I'm thinking Skull. But we have a few of these. Anyway, so my point was, I get together with this family, and then 2 more show up. They just happen to show up. Barry and Erica. Now, Jerry, before you say anything, Barry has become a loyal listener of this show.
Barry's a loser. And he's always, go ahead.
Barry has become a loyal listener of the show. That's my brother-in-law, who previously had no interest in games. But Erica, his wife, did. I feel like maybe there's been a flip-flop, a switch. Now, because Barry's interested in our podcast, he's interested in playing some games. Well, they showed up. Kind of threw a kink in the plans, but no big deal. They were taking care of some family business. I'm like, sure, spend the night. You can stay here, whatever you need to do. We're family, whatever. So we went from 5 players to 7 players all of a sudden, which changes things dramatically game-wise. There's a lot of 5-player games. There's not a lot of 7-player games unless we're just going straight to Taboo or Pictionary type stuff, right? So we played Green Team Wins. We played, I think, Telestrations. We played basically party games because that's all you can do at 5 people. But I was thinking, I thought I had Skull. I'm looking for Skull. With the Skull plays 6. You have an expansion that plays 7, I think. Adds an extra person. That would have been perfect. Didn't have it. I had another game in mind. Nope. Jerry borrowed it. It's at Jerry's. I don't have it. While it is nice that, we can purchase a game and share it among the 2 of us, Enrique every now and then might need something. But mostly it's just the 2 of us that share games between us. I feel like some of these games, especially party games, we just need to split and have you have your copy and me have my copy, because we can't continue sharing Skull or whatever.
It sounds like you just plan poorly. I will not double my what you're suggesting that we waste space, effectively double our party games because of Barry. Barry. Let me tell you right now, I had trouble with Barry before this podcast, and now you're suggesting that I spend my hard-earned money because, number one,
maybe Barry will become a Patreon. Hey, just consider everyone a potential Patreoner.
Why don't you just have Barry sit in the corner and watch paint dry? He would be entertained. I mean, why are we worried about? No,
he likes our show.
One of the worst ideas I've ever. Listen,
and he's my brother-in-law, Jerry. Jerry, he's related to me, and maybe
I don't. He by marriage, by marriage.
Link in the show notes.
By marriage.
Join our Patreon.
Listen. Barry.
Okay, I'm going to say, hold on. Wait, no, you listen. For once, you listen. I think this is a topic for conversation. I think that this becomes an issue when you have a shared group of people and you play these games, but maybe, every now and then, you need the game and I need the game.
No, that never happens. That has literally never happened.
It literally happened the other day.
Never happened. No,
I said
I did not need the game.
I said,
no, that did
Skull?
not happen.
I text you. Do you have Skull? Yeah, I've got it. I was like, dadgummit.
But listen, that did not happen. I did not need it. I had it. Your poor planning.
It was not my poor planning. I can't help impromptu things happening.
Barry did it. Barry showed up.
Last minute things happen in life. And I was
no, they don't. You invite people. You know how many people are coming. And you say, this is who's coming. And when you got Barry, I won't show up. You say, listen, Barry.
Don't talk about Barry that way. He might join our Patreon.
Barry ain't going to join our Patreon.
He might will. At our highest tier of $20. We need it desperately.
Oh, my. No, we don't. Listen. The only games that we have that are party games that we go back and forth on is when I know I'm going to be throwing a gathering and I go, hey, man, I need the party games. I would relinquish all the party games in my home and just say, here you go, Gobby. And when I need them, because I can plan ahead and know this date, I'm having this many people and go get said games, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But I refuse to spend 1 shilling on something because of Barry.
You got to account for the berries in your life.
Anyway, no, I have no berries. I refuse.
Not even Dingle.
No, that's what he is. He is a dingleberry. He's hanger on that circles around. Oh, play this game with you, Gubby. Come on.
Do not besmirch my beloved brother-in-law, Barry. He's a fan of the show. Jerry.
He's not a fan of the show.
His name even rhymes with yours. Barry
he
and Jerry.
Barry. Barry's like the evil Jerry. He's got like a dark goatee, doesn't he? Dark hair. He's basically evil Jerry of the Star Trek mirror universe.
Oh, speaking of goatees, I got an email on that.
Yeah, and I'm okay with circle beards. It's the goatees that I'm all about. On the hang on one second. I'm gonna bring this up real fast. This got posted on our Facebook group, which is why you should join our Facebook group. Chad Lamb, which is one of the numerous Chads that are in our group. He posted about Rebel Moon Part 2. I've not seen the first Rebel Moon.
Nor should you. There's nothing to see.
Okay. But he says, if you thought the first one was meh, this is a whole new level of meh. Why Zack Snyder thinks people would be wowed by this is beyond me. I only ask that you release an unedited recording of all of Jerry's Baker comments while he watches this. Either that or have an episode dedicated to where you don't stop recording until Jerry stops ranting. And Enrique can be there to say half his name if it helps. Okay, so I have committed to that. Let's do that. I have never watched the first Rebel Moon. You could fill me in. But we're going to watch Rebel Moon Part 2. The Scar Giver?
We're never going to do this. See, this is the thing with you. You get inspired.
We're doing it. We're doing it at BGG.
No.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You get inspired for stuff. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And content. And you don't do anything.
Yeah, dude. We're doing this. I just said we're doing it right here. I said, consider it done.
So we're going to do an 1.5-hour episode of us watching Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. One of the, literally, Jerry, I've started this movie 3 times. I can't.
All right. Well, guess what? We're going to even because we're going to.
Well, then you need to watch Part 1 for context.
All right. I will. I'll watch Part 1. I'm going to get off here with you and watch Part 1 right now.
It's absolutely horrendous. But
you don't know that.
I do know it. Hopkins. I've watched it. I watched Rebel Moon Part 1.
This could be brilliant. This could be brilliant.
It is not brilliant. It's one of the worst. It's Zack Snyder puking up slow-mo action scenes and thinking everything is cool. That's all he does.
I love slow-mo.
I love. Okay, hold on.
Whoa.
Shut your mouth. John Woo and me, Zack Snyder and me. Before slow-mo was awesome, John Woo existed. Before Zack Snyder, John Woo existed. I love slow-mo. Zack Snyder will just make his whole freaking movie in slow-mo and ruin everything about, like, what's the point? Why am I watching them harvest hay in slow-mo? It's absolute garbage, and I hate it.
Spoilers. Well, we'll watch it. I'm going to watch the first one here today and tomorrow, get caught up, and then I'll download it on my Netflix, and we'll just watch part of it and record some so we can kind of have an understanding. And so this is a request from Chad Lamb, who I believe is a Patreoner, and that's how we keep Patreon.
If he's not, he should be. Everyone should
Christopher
be.
Clayton says, the Mystery Snobs Theater. Sign me up.
Okay, so Mason Pierce, and in reference to a couple episodes ago, you were trashing goatees. He said, are you referring to a true goatee, which is just the chin and soul patch, no mustache? Or are you referring to a circle beard, which is a mustache that connects to a goatee? The former is an abomination. The latter is hip and cool. Exhibit A, I have a circle beard.
Yeah, circle beard I can deal with. I can deal with the circle beard. I cannot deal with a goatee.
Well, the circle beard is the beard and, the rest of that and that particular area. I've got the hiccups. I don't know why.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, people can tell. Our listeners are very aware of everything we say and do, and the minorest of technological hiccups in our podcast. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think Gavi's got the hiccups because I noticed something.
Nobody says. Nobody does. Nobody does. Who does that? Barry.
Barry. He's technologically advanced. I think he may know.
Barry is not technologically advanced. He has a flip phone. He wears it on his little holster.
Barry's a data analyst. He knows exactly everything that's going on. He runs the bank
for Barry.
He's a very smart man.
Yes, the one thing everybody hates, the bank. Of course, Barry would be in the bank.
Don't you date on Barry? He's my brother-in-law.
I'm just saying. He's your brother by marriage.
He's my brother by marriage.
He married. Oh boy, Barry.
Don't talk about Barry.
All right. That's enough of this. I got to get off here. I got to go check on some things. And then I got to
check on stuff too. I got stuff to check on.
Rebel Moon, Part 1. I hit it, watch.
Pause there briefly for a second for absolutely no reason. As soon as you said, we got to get off here, I'm like, I stopped the recording for some reason, but
you're a great producer. Don't let anybody say otherwise. This is great. And I like, just point out all the flaws. Just ignore them. Talk through them.
And that's going to do it for this episode.
Whoa, slow-mo.
We will see you on the other side of BGG Spring. We will have been to BGG Spring and played many a wonderful game, and we will report back to you because we know that our listeners love hearing about games.
We'll probably go live.
The reason they're here.
Join the Facebook group in case we go live. How do you do Facebook Live?
We will never go live.
I'll go live. I'm doing it live. You don't know me.
Never will we go live.
You know the pre-tumor, Jerry. This is the tumor's gone. I have
PTJ.
PTJ, I'm ready. Get ready. PTJ's in the house. All right, well, until we go post-tumor Jerry, I'm Gabi. It's Jerry. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.